makes you think we could actually be friends after this. You know what you're doing.
We need to save this for when the camera's
No, it's fine.
I think they're rolling right now.
You guys are rolling.
It starts off camera, but they're so pally. And then as soon as they start talking to each other, you can see the tension change in the room. I mean, I was like a spectator for most of it, which was fantastic for me. That's bad blood will never die.
You know, this was the first time in my life that I've ever seen a fighter lose and then go on some type of victory tour. This guy.
No, there was
this
no.
guy was
there
going
was
to
no,
events.
There was no.
He was doing interviews.
Listen, we were
buying cars.
Chris, no, that was your card that you gave me. That was the 500 grand for your unprofessionalism that gave me that car.
You flew over to America. You're taking pictures with people. Oh, I'm so grateful for the love and the support the fans are showing me. You're going on like you won. You do understand you lost, right?
You want me to finish?
He had all 10 toenails.
First fight was
Fight of the Year contender. And for me, you're going to get exactly the same next time, but we just need a little bit more smartness from Conor Benn. The heart's great, but don't be so reckless and wild when you can outbox this guy. And he's brought in Eubank, one of the best trainers in the world.
The confrontation between Conor Benn and Eubank Jr after their latest press conference revealed more than just bad blood. It exposed where both fighters stand mentally heading into their highly charged rematch. Benn attempted to present himself as the respectful warrior, but his tone and words betrayed something else.
There's been a lot of respect anyway. Personally, I don't like him. You know, he thought I was going to be an easy touch, which is why he fought welterweight. So is there much respect there? Not really, but you know, ultimately, you know, I'm ready to honour my side of the agreement, which was the 2-fight deal, and it's safe to say he's scared. You know, he almost lost. Could have gone either way to a welterweight.
Entirely, rather than conviction, his statement sounded like carefully wrapped excuses, almost as though he were trying to convince himself he still belongs in this fight. Eubank Jr, by contrast, radiated composure. His response wasn't just confident, it was clinical, almost chilling. Looking directly at Benn, he reminded him of what already happened.
Still gonna poke and prod, but the fact is, we created something special. We're gonna try and create something even more special November 15th. Animosity is still there, but it's not like it was before, where it was like, I've been waiting for 3 years to fight this guy, and I just want to get my hands on him. I've got my hands on him now. I've beaten him. So now it's kind of like, all right, well, we're going to do it again. We're going to do it even better. Let's see what happens, you know? It's a different energy.
Do you see yourself knocking him out this time round?
I think so. That's the goal. That's going to be the game plan. I don't want to have another 12-round fight. So if I can get him out of there, I'm going to.
Once. I've beaten you before. This time, I'll make it brutal. No hiding behind 12 rounds. I'm coming to shut you down early. That wasn't just trash talk. It was a statement of intent. A cold, direct threat delivered with authority. And the way Benn flinched at those words told its own story. Boxing legend Carl Froch has...
For me, it's a fight that probably means a lot less for boxing than what it does for the actual fighters. You know, the fighters, for them, there's a lot at stake. Conor Benn wants to overturn the decision. Eubank wants to cement the decision and say, I've done it twice. Bottom line is, they're making big bunts, aren't they? Big dollar, and they might as well make money. These are prize fighters. We can't begrudge them making money fighting, because that's what they do. That's why they get in there.
Has never been one to mince words, and his take on the rematch cut straight to the heart of the matter. This is personal, Froch declared. Benn is desperate to erase the loss, but Eubank isn't fighting out of desperation. He's fighting for legacy. Winning again doesn't just prove victory, it proves dominance. That distinction matters. Benn is motivated by revenge, an emotional state that often clouds judgment.
You could say the same when he slapped me, punched me, whatever it was. You know, it's like he's got to play this victim card. He needs to shift that victim mentality. Or it's the narrative he's pushing. So whatever he's doing, it really don't concern me, man.
Inside the ring, Eubank Jr, on the other hand, is looking to cement his name in the lineage of great rivalries by doing what few fighters achieve, beating their rival twice, in emphatic fashion. Froch's point highlights the split. One man is chasing ghosts.
Honestly, this guy has zero respect for anything. And I hope people can see through it. Some will, some won't. But if you can't see them, I mean, that's a lot of what happened up there was just wrong. So listen, we go to work and we're in to win the fight. It's going to be different this time.
Last one.
the other is chasing history. When Benn tried firing back at Froch's observations, his tone betrayed frustration. He insisted Eubank hadn't broken him, that respect didn't exist between them. But the harder he pushed this line, the more it sounded like deflection. If anything, it proved Froch right. Eubank is in Benn's head. Eddie Hearn, always quick to defend his fighters, stepped in to back Benn, but even his words rang hollow, sounding more like spin than conviction. He spoke of zero respect and painted Eubank as the villain. Yet as Hearn himself admitted, respect in boxing isn't won through words, it's earned in the ring, and in their first encounter, it was Eubank who earned it. Hearn's attempt to paint Benn as the wronged warrior came across as damaged.
Conor Benn's Conor Benn. But I want him just to be a little bit smarter. We can't, like Nigel said, he's just winging away. And the heart's great, the balls are great, but you can outbox this guy as well. You're going to have to stand and fight because he's going to try and walk you down and be the bigger man. But just be a little bit smart with it as well.
Control. Worse still, Hearn inadvertently highlighted Benn's weaknesses, admitting that his fighter tends to be reckless, relying too heavily on raw aggression instead of calculated strategy. That kind of approach might overwhelm a fringe contender, but against a disciplined technician like Eubank Jr., it's a recipe for disaster. Eubank's jab, his patience, his ability to dictate range, all of these tools are designed to dismantle exactly the kind of emotional pride-fueled fighter Benn represents. When your own promoter warns that emotion alone won't win the fight, it exposes glaring cracks. Hearn knows Benn needs more than fire. He needs a miracle blend of brains and bravery, but history shows he falls back on pride. Against Eubank, pride drags him into firefights, and that...
You know, I'm going to tell you right here and now, you ain't no champ. And you most definitely ain't no people's champ, so get that out of your head. You keep letting Eddie Hearn blow smoke up your ass and you're going to end up being even more of an embarrassment than he is. These men are not men of the people. They are pretending. They're pretending to be the good guys. Wolves in sheep's clothing, if you will. They will do anything they can.
Is where Chris thrives. What makes Chris Eubank Jr. dangerous isn't just his boxing, it's his ability to wage psychological warfare before the first bell. At the press confrontation, he tore away Benn's aura piece by piece. He called him a fraud, mocked his image as the people's champion, and dismissed him as hype propped up by promotional spin. Those words stung because they carried truth. Benn isn't a champion. He's popular, yes, but popularity isn't proof. Eubank, who has already beaten him, has the authority to speak that way, and every insult landed like a jab, keeping Benn reactive, angry, and predictable. This is classic Eubank. He dictates the fight outside the ring to control the tempo inside it. By branding Benn as an embarrassment, he strips away confidence and feeds on his opponent's insecurities. That's how you win a fight twice, once mentally, then physically. Not everyone is convinced.
I do see improvement there for Conor. And I do think the results will be different the other way around in the next fight. I think it'll go the distance all over again.
Former cruiserweight champion Johnny Nelson has suggested that Conor Benn has the edge in the rematch, labeling Eubank Jr. as stiff and vulnerable. It's a bold view, but one that doesn't quite square with reality. In their first meeting, Eubank controlled pace and distance, shutting down Benn's wild charges with measured precision. Calling Eubank stiff overlooks how effectively he neutralized Benn. If anything, it was Benn who looked one-dimensional, hitting a ceiling in the presence of higher ring IQ. Nelson sees improvement in Benn, but even a slightly more refined version of reckless doesn't equate to victory against someone as disciplined as Eubank. Experience, composure, and intelligence belong to Chris. A second fight, if anything, only widens the gap. Tony Bellew.
Not nice, it's one of the worst pains you'll ever have. But listen, it's being done. Some find it funny, some don't. It's all part and parcel. When you get involved in these kind of things, you have to just accept it. And everyone's bought into the fight. We all know the drama, the rivalry's real. My greatest worry is these two boys don't bump into each other when no one's around. Yeah, because if they do, it's happening. 100%. It's worse than that, mate. It's
Never one to underplay emotion in boxing, sees this fight as more than just sport. It's war, he said. Pride, pain, and raw emotion are fueling it, and that's where Eubank thrives. Bellew's words capture the essence of what separates the two men. Eubank feeds on pressure, turning the heat into fuel. Benn, however, seems weighed down by it, already cracking under expectation. When Benn admitted there was no respect between them, Bellew heard insecurity. Eubank, conversely, treated the rivalry like business, serious, but not consuming. That distinction could decide the night. Jack Catterall, riding high from his own career resurgence, expressed excitement for the fight, calling the first clash unbelievable, and tipping Benn for the win. His enthusiasm was clear, but it leaned more toward hopeful cheerleading than analysis. Capability does not equal deliverance. Benn may have power and passion, but capability without composure doesn't win against Chris Eubank Jr. The first fight showed that.
You know what, it was an unbelievable fight. I remember watching it, one of the best fights I've seen. I wasn't there live. I'd like to get to this next one, but I think it's not going to be another great fight, and I'm going for Conor Benn for the win.
Do you believe he stopped Eubank this time?
Definitely capable of it.
Fire alone burns out when matched against patience and precision. Catterall may believe Benn can do it, but belief doesn't erase structural flaws. Barry Jones, the respected analyst, offered the most balanced take. He acknowledged the brutality of the rematch and gave Benn credit for toughness, but still leaned heavily toward Eubank Jr. as the rightful favorite. The only way Benn changes things, Jones explained, is if he lands something freakish early, a lottery punch. Otherwise, Eubank's consistency, stamina, and ring IQ take over. That assessment rings true. Boxing at this level isn't about gambling, it's about reliability under pressure, and Eubank has already proven he can absorb punishment while still dictating pace. The first fight proved it, the second may underline it further. Jones's reluctant conclusion was that Benn's best hope is survival, but survival is not victory. Fans don't pay for moral wins.
And so this fight can only harm him, because that was a hard fight, the first one. This one will be another hard fight, whoever wins, unless there's a real freak occurrence, not a freak occurrence, unless someone gets caught with the shot really early, then it's going to be a hard night, which you still have to make Eubank the favourite again, like I did the first time. I mean,
They want definitive outcomes, and once again, all signs point to Eubank delivering that. This rematch carries weight beyond just the fighters. It's about family legacy, about two famous boxing names colliding in a saga that stretches back generations. That drama sells tickets, but when the bell rings, hype dissolves. What remains is a clear split. Eubank Jr. is composed, cold, and calculated. Benn is emotional, fiery, and fragile under pressure. One thrives in war, the other risks drowning in it. Yes, Conor Benn can land something big. Yes, he has pride, power, and passion. But when it comes to consistency, intelligence, and the ability to weaponize pressure, Chris Eubank Jr. is the safer bet. The first fight was proof. The rematch, if anything, looks poised to be even more decisive.